Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and rule well. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in this gospel, brother, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is another lesson through the Spirit. This is from the People's Voice. It says U.S. government invests $306 million in bird flu response while funding gain-of-function research to make virus more lethal. Okay, now you look this up right quick. Gain-of-function, right? Which they have their controversies on it, right? Because Esau comes and make it seem like it's a thing of it says gain-of-function research explained. It says the term gain-of-function is perhaps one of the most misunderstood in the scientific lexicon. It says, I would like to explain what the phrase means from the perspective of a scientist who has done gain-of-function research for the past 40 years. It says the research gives an organism a new property or enhances an existing one. The organisms can be a virus, bacterium, fungus, rodent, bird, fish, or anything that could be experimentally manipulated. Technically, whales and elephants could be included in the definition, but it would be very difficult to GOF research on them. But it says many have the impression that GOF research involves making an organism more deadly. For example, increasing the capacity of a virus to cause disease. It says the impression is incorrect, but certainly the GOF research may lead to more dangerous organism, but most of the time it is not the goal, which that's where they go off at. Okay, and of course this is from virology blog, or virology.ws. But we know, in fact, it's the opposite as to what they would say, because you got this guy by the name of Dr. Fauci, which I believe he's retired or he's pretty much stepped down. But after the what came and went, he's been nothing but spreading lies and confusion and manipulating people into doing things that was going to be conducive or not conducive to their health. And he's financed and experimented with what they call this gain of function. Okay, when you take a particular organism or a particular virus and then you mutate it, and then before you know it, it becomes something more than what it was intended. Okay, that's just like saying, like, if you have a bat, right? And I'm just using that for an example, maybe a bad example. But let's just say you have a bat, right? Because bats are blind. They're not known to really attack people unless, just they're under threat. But let's just say if you had a bat, but what he will mutate that, or he would design the organism inside the fucking being or the creature to become something more. So it will jump from a bat to a blood-sucking bat, if that make any sense. Though you do have what they call vampire bats. Okay, but a lot of these animals and shit that's been domesticated, and like a lot of these hybrid animals, they're not even actual, they're not even full, or how can I say, they're basically like a modification of a particular animal, man. Like you got domesticated cats, which cats share predominantly the DNA of a lion, man. But you domesticate cats, man. Same thing with certain breeds of dogs. You got like what they call bulldogs and French pubs or French bullies or whatever you want to call them, the little pub. Those ain't natural bred dogs, man. Like a pit bull. That's a mixture of a fucking German Shepherd, a bully, and something else. Okay, which is probably not the best example, but you getting where I'm getting at with this whole GOF shit. Okay, because there's nothing more but witchcraft at the end of the day. But it says here, it says on Friday, the U.S. Health Department of Health and Human Services, which is the HHS, unveiled $306 million investment to combat the or the H5 such and such AVIAN-INFLUENZA or BIRD, including the development of the and preparedness measures. Okay, so basically this here, messenger RNA, and then you have this here, which they're talking about 2025, which is the year we're currently in, that will mark the beginning of a new ordeal, which we believe that there's a new pandemic is going to be based on the three-pointer that people then did back 2-3 years ago. Okay, and we're believing that through the frequencies of whatever Esau is putting up, what he's putting in the air or in the foods or in the 5G or whatever, man, whatever he's dealing with, we believe that is gonna cause these people to start to become something informal, to say the least. Okay, whatever's inside of them from doing the okey doke years ago, somehow, some way, they're gonna enhance this new pandemic. At least that's just my opinion. But it says, but beneath the surface of these efforts lies a troubling revelation, and a newly obtained document exposed government funding experiments designed to make such and such more transmissible and lethal, speaking fears in an orchestrated biosecurity crisis. Okay, because this right here, I believe they stated since 1996 has only been 800 some cases of this being mutated into humans. And since it can be deadly, then, you know, you've had the fatality rate was pretty low. But it's unlikely for this here to jump to human beings because this just does not affect humans. And then they made a statement too and was like, okay, if this is the case, instead of doing a GOF research and mutating and modifying shit, how about you just let the whole herd get sick? That way they develop what they call an immune to it. Just like with anything else, like when we were younger, you had what they call a chicken pox party, when one of us had a chicken pox and then the parents would bring the kids over and we all play together so we all can catch the shit. So therefore you become immune to it because your body writes a program to get immune to it. So therefore, if you catch it, you can't catch it again, or it's unlikely. Okay. But even then you got something down the line, which is called shingles, which is basically the same virus. It just attacks the nerve endings in your body. Okay. Which is basically the chickenpox virus, right? Same thing with the measles and shit. But it says documents obtained by the watchdog group, the White Coat Waste Project, confirms that federally funded research involves infecting birds with various strains of birds such and such to enhance transmissibility, meaning that they are trying to spread it because they want to create another ordeal so they can get ultimate control, because that's the WEF and the W to the H to the O was basically stating back in 2023, even 24, that there was going to be another global ordeal possibly hitting the world in the year 25, man. Even Bill Gates mentioned it. But it says these experiments also explore the pathogen's ability to jump into mammalian hosts, raising serious bio concerns. But funding for this research began in April 21 and is set to continue through March 26. But it says this mirrors the gain of such and such experiments linked to the you-know-what such and such, which raises questions if history is about to repeat itself. It says, and are we allowed the elite to pull the same trick? But see, this time what they're going to do is they're going to force these lockdowns probably by military intervention, because they know that people are catching on to the gimmick. Okay, everybody know that what happened in 2020 and so forth, and people was succumbing to these particular these doses, I say it that way. Basically, people was like, never again. Okay, we're not gonna LD. They realized that the whole 666, you know, you hear 6 there, you know, away from the next person, which I'm saying it in code. But basically, they was like, we're not falling for that shit again, because when this guy Fauci was exposed, that was just something he pulled out of his asshole. People was like, so we went through all that. Rents going up, inflation, all this shit, people fighting each other, you know, justifying going down to these death clinics to get this shit in them, just for it all to be an orchestrated hoax. People ain't going for it no more, man. So the next one is going to come with even more fatality because they're getting ready to do something. Okay, this time you may see bodies dropping in the streets. Okay, but it says here, making matters more suspicious, that HHS is funneling significant resources into his such and such preparedness, though its administration for strategic preparedness and response. It says the funding breakdown includes $90 million for the hospital preparedness program, $10 million for national emergency special pathogens training and education centers, $26 million for regional emerging special treatment centers, $43 million for the avian such and such preparedness response activities, which can include military people being dispatched to centers or whatever they may be, quarantining people, $14 million to replenish national disaster medical systems, NDMS equipment and supply caches. But the centers of such and such creation and prevention were allocated 111 million to enhance monitoring of the such and such at local, state, and national levels. This includes $100,003 of increased surveillance of individuals exposed to infected animals and outreach to high-risk populations such as livestock workers. Additionally, the National Institutes of Health, which is the NIH, is directing 11 million towards researching potential medical countermeasures for H5N1. But despite these efforts, critics warned that the 306 million investment signaled not just preparation, but a calculated orchestration of the next such and such. It says the eerily parallels to the pre-C19 events, including gain-of-function research and the rollout of new such and such, have sparked demands to halt such experiments and strip the government of emergency powers, okay, which is going to lead to a lot of people rising up against this system because basically people are realizing that they're orchestrating this shit. Okay, so this is the time we're in. Judgment, pestilence, famines, the whole shebang. So this is the book of Job 13, and I'm going to start at verses 4. It says, but ye are all forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value, all right? Because we understand that Esau, he comes up with these particular experiments in a lab, you know, and he's basically murdering millions of people with a goddamn lab coat on, and then he puts his talking heads on TV to push fear and propaganda among people to the point that people literally bug themselves out. And to add insult to injury, he may splice a little thing. You know, he may put some shit in food. He may put it in the water systems. You know, he may put it in the air like a small tidbit just to justify on people catching it so he can say, see, we told you. And then he will put the narrative out there that the people that's not complying is the people that's getting everybody to get fatally ill by these particular pestilence, man. When it ain't even the case, because they pulled that same gimmick back in 2020. They blamed all the deaths on the people that didn't do the 3-pointer. But it finds out that, in fact, the people that died from it was the people that drink juice, that drink the poison Kool-Aid, you know? So I guess the conspiracy theorists were right that time, right? But yet everybody turns a blind eye to that shit. But it says, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee, thou has appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. So the Most High is going to stop this man right in his tracks, because eventually it's going to get out of hand. And the Most High is like, you know what? Enough is enough. This is why it tells us in Matthew 24 that except those days be short, no flesh should be saved. Right. Because ultimately, man, this dude, he's on a collision course of ending humanity, man. OK, this is why we call Esau the devil that the Bible talks about, because he would stop at nothing until the Lord stops his ass. OK, so let's go from the book of here to Psalms 51. And let's start at verses, no, not Psalms 52. No, that's a good one. Hold on, Psalms. Matter of fact, let's do this. Let's go to Psalms 7. I think it's Psalm 17 or 18. Yep, Psalm 17. This is the book of Psalm 17. And I'm going to start at verses 8. It says, keep me as the apple of thy eye. Keep me as the apple of the eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wings from the wicked that oppress me. And this is nothing more but oppression. OK, back in 2020, they literally had people quarantining and locking down, you know, based on minute measures, man. And then they was pushing this shit in the news, and they was propagating fear. And the funny part about it is that there was a lot of division and dissension among people. I mean, I've literally seen family members stop talking to each other and cut each other off because they didn't comply. One side complied with the government and the other side was like, I'm not believing in that shit. Relationships has been destroyed, all because you wasn't walking around with that shit inside you, you know, because they believed Esau, man, you know, which that term medium goes into, or media goes into medium, which a medium is a person that consults the dead. OK, from the spirit world, the medium is the person that's in between. So like Esau uses talking heads to push this propaganda on people, and people eat it up, man. OK, but it says here, from the wicked that oppress me, from my deadly enemies who compass me about. It reads, they are enclosed in their own fat, and with their mouth they speak proudly. Now they have compassed us on our steps, and they have set their eyes bowing down to the earth, man, all right? Because we know Esau adopts the emblem of the eagle, which is the highest flying bird, okay? Pride. Now, when you go back into the article, basically it stated that they've invested so many hundreds of millions, I think 110 or 111 million in surveillance, which that's a lot of money to be investing in surveillance just to keep tabs on the people, to see who's spreading what or to see who's doing what. All because they don't want their little bullshit narratives being exposed, but everybody is woken up to you. And this is why he's trying to shut down TikTok and other alternative media sources, because everybody is caught on to the gimmick. So now he's just getting ready to Debo his way in this thing, because he knows people are not going to comply with it the second time, at least the smart people. A stupid person will believe any goddamn thing. But overall, he knows that people are woken up to his shit, so he's getting ready to power drive his way and force people to do what they're going to do. So if you don't want to lock down, they're going to force you to lock down, whether it be throwing you in prison or at gunpoint, because it's going to get to the point that blood will be shed in order to establish his new world order. All right. And it says here, now they have compassed us on our steps. They have set their eyes bowing down to the earth, like as a lion that is greedy of his prey, and as it were a young lion lurking in the secret places. But arise, O Lord, and disappoint him, and cast down, and deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword, right? Which proves that Esau Edom is the sword of the Most High, because a fucking bioweapon is still a weapon. Okay, these are all biological weapons that they're using on the people. And this is why they found so many biolabs in different, like every place that the U.S. got a military base set up in, which is pretty much damn near every country on the fucking planet Earth, because they're spread that thin. You better believe that there's some type of bio warfare going on somewhere. Okay, from the Ukraine or Wuhan, like they talking about is another. They had to shut down schools out there in Wuhan now because of the alleged FLU type pneumonia going out, man. Okay, and they're talking about the first case was found here in Louisiana. So you got 4 different type of pestilence that's creeping upon Babylon, and before you know it, hey, this shit is going to be spreading worldwide, man, and we're going to have to go back into lockdowns. But I don't think people are going to go that easy this time. I think there's going to be some type of civil disturbance based on the security parameters that they try to enforce on people. But we just have to wait and see. All right. So going down here to the last paragraph, it says, where did I leave off at? Yep. It says, while the such and such assessments of the risks such and such to the general public remains low, the USDA has HHS continue to closely collaborate with federal, state, and the local industry, which is the city, it says, and other stakeholders to protect human health, animal health, food safety. It says, but yet many remain unconvinced. But with federal agencies, including the Department of Energy, the FBI, affirming that the such and such was likely man-made, fears about the intentional or accidental release of enhanced such and such have grown. But the dual strategy of funding such and such and researching more dangerous strains of bird you-know-what has left critics questioning the government's priorities. It says, is this preparation or reckless experimentation that can unleash the very such and such it claims to prevent? And yeah, and this is what they was talking about, gain of function, because basically this is how the shit spread it in the first place. You know? Like it says here, this fits well. They're creating the problems themselves in the first place and claiming to bring solutions, which causing worse problems and later and so on. It says if we get rid of them, instead, we can easily find real solutions, as if suppress all working cures, such and such, man. But you people ain't going to do shit, man. All right. You ain't going to do shit because, I mean, a lot of you people are just that stupid. You know, you talk a good game, but as long as you have some type of flat screen TV in front of you, some type of sports or bread and circus, and some type of alcoholic beverage, some drugs and bread and circus, you people ain't gonna do a goddamn thing. Okay, they got to take shit from you people for you to even remotely think about it. And the whole part about it is that they're taking from you any goddamn way. All right, it says every lab function or every laboratory worldwide should be closed down. It says we don't need any of their so-called scientists creating such and such that is transmissible from animals to humans just so they can create a laughably cure to such a thing and reap billions of taxpayer dollars from complicit governments while it's destroying the health of billions of trusting citizens, just as they did with the such scam. Yeah, but if you speak these things to people, because people are waking up to the folly, but if you speak these things, people gonna look at you like you crazy, man. Like, are you a conspiracy theorist? But when you look at the research, the people that was warning the motherfuckers about it was right. Okay? But nonetheless, this is the Lord. So this is the book of 2nd Ezra 16, and I'm going to start at verses 18. It says, the beginning of sorrows, and the beginning of great mournings, and the beginning of famine and great death. It says the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what should I do when these evils come? So we're in the beginning of evils, man. We're in the midst of these evils, and they ain't going to do nothing but intensify. Okay, this is why we warn you brothers out there, man, to, stay spiritual, man. Keep your spirit uplifted. Continue to do the work, continue to pray, fast, whatever you got to do in order to escape this shit, man. Because the average jackass out here, they ain't going to see what's coming. All right. And they're going to allow themselves to get caught up in this coming treachery because they're so fucking stupid. Like you got a bunch of dumb idiots. The news, look, they done warn people damn near a week in advance to stay off the roads prior to the storm coming. And what these stupid monkeys do, they go out there and they go and slide across the goddamn highway, creating fatalities, man. Okay, a bunch of stupid people. These same idiots that went down there and dropped dead from the first one because they got that bullshit put in them. These are the same monkey-minded people that's going to do the same goddamn thing, man. Okay, and wonder why you people need missile fire. All right, if you people were in your right mind, you would have did what you had to do against this shit a long time ago. Like, why the hell are you people even still getting up and going to work in the morning? To pay for an overly inflated fucking mortgage that they getting ready to go up on. Rents, unbearable. Food. Here, eggs is $7 goddamn, man. They putting shit in your food, and yet you just sit back and complaining, going on TikTok, thinking that Esau is gonna change, man. Okay, he wants you people to rouse up, and what do? Shit. But it says, behold, famine and plague and tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for a minute. But for all these things, they should not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of their scourges. It's right, man. Okay, because at the end of the day, this is the judgment of the Heavenly Father, and you people are still not privy to it. I'm gonna go down to verses 23. It says, and the dead should be cast out as dung, and there should no man be there to come. It says, and there should no man to comfort them. There should be no man to comfort them, for the earth should be wasted, and the city should be casted down, and there should be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. Right, because the dead bodies, the scriptures say that you're gonna have dead body, like to the point you're gonna have to step over the bodies. The dead is gonna be just innumerable out here. And just imagine a stench, especially on a hot, humid summer day. You got hundreds of thousands of bodies in these, millions of bodies in these cities, motherfuckers laid. And then that attracts diseases, and then that attracts animals. It's gonna be horrible out here, man. So we gonna need Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, because the average person, they just not gonna make it. Okay, and a lot of you Israelites out there, hey, you're gonna fall victim of this judgment too. Because a lot of you guys ain't right in the spirit either. Okay, like them them Bow clown. What kind of fucking name Bow? What is it called? Believers of the way or some shit? You niggas ain't nothing but a bunch of just rebellious, disgruntled niggas, man. That's all you are. How was you checking it? Hold on. But anyway, it says when he had opened the fourth seal, it says, and when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, come and see. And I looked and beheld a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given to them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with the sword and hunger and with death and with the beasts of the earth, man. All right. So that's pretty much it. All praises and glory, honor that's due to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Our Lord's will you will edify to the next lesson. Shalom.